Psalm 74. O God, why hast thou cast us off forever? Why doth thine anger smoke against the sheep of thy pasture? Remember thy congregation which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thy inheritance which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion wherein thou hast dwelt. Lift up thy feet unto the perpetual desolations, even all that the enemy hath done wickedly in the sanctuary. Thine enemies war in the midst of thy congregations. They set up their ensigns for signs. A man was famous according as he had lifted up axes upon the thick trees. But now they break down the carved wood thereof at once with axes and hammers. They have cast fire into to thy sanctuary. They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together. They have burned up all the synagogues of God in the land. We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet, neither is there among us any that knoweth how long. O God, how long shall the adversary reproach? Shall the enemy blaspheme thy name forever? Why withdrawest thou thy hand, even thy right hand? Pluck it out of thy bosom. For God is my King of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. Thou didst divide the sea, and by thy strength thou breakest the heads of the dragons in the waters. Thou breakest the heads of nation in pieces, and gavest him to be meat, the people inhabiting the wilderness. Thou didst cleave the fountain, and the flood thou driest up mighty rivers. The day is thine, the night also is thine. Thou hast prepared the light and the sun. Thou hast set all thy borders of the earth. Thou hast made summer and winter. Remember this, that the enemy hath reproached, O Lord, that the foolish people has blasphemed thy name. O deliver not the soul of thy turtle dove unto the multitude of the wicked. Forget not the congregation of thy poor forever. Have respect unto the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are full of the habitations of cruelty. O let not the oppressed return ashamed. Let the poor and needy praise thy name. Arise, O God, plead thy own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproacheth thee daily. Forget not the voice of thine enemies. The tumult of those that rise up against thee increaseth continually. Psalm 74. Do you ever wonder why God can take a while to, how do we say, resolve a problem or to help your situation, or maybe even help you with someone that is against you, like maybe at work or your family or whoever? You know, there can be many reasons why something that, we believe should take a little bit, God takes like 2 weeks, and we're like, okay, it should be done in like 3 hours. And first thing to remember is that our time is not his. So if he says stuff needs to be worked out longer and it's done when he says it's done, then it's done when he says it's done. It is better to let God be in control, because he knows he is the better path, than it is for us to push our path. If God says something different, then there's a reason. His timing really does matter. Or sometimes it's maybe he has sent someone, but they won't move. They won't come and tell you what it is. So you are in limbo, if you will, waiting on this answer. And God gave ABC the answer as the messenger. And ABC won't come around. They won't tell you. For whatever reason of their heart, they won't come to you. So
That really could be another reason. But whatever the reason, it could be a lesson. Let me add this in. It could be teaching us a different way of living that we need and that we may not have at that time. And God's just trying to give us what we need. But whatever the reason, Jesus will make a way. Jesus takes care of his people and will help us either be delivered from it, like we say, quickly, or he will see us through. Sometimes it's meant for us to go through, not go out of it, but to go through it. And I know that's a lot of people don't want to hear that, because they just want to hear, oh, I shouldn't have to do that, and complete deliverance. But you know what? Sometimes God says, I need you to go through the door. I need you to walk through it, because it's going to help you in the end. And we got a couple of options. We could either let whatever the situation is and whatever he's doing this time, and we could either let it make us stronger and loving him more and doing his will more, or we could let it take us out by saying, hey, I give up. This ain't worth it. God is just whatever. He ain't even listening to me. And we just give it in the towel. It's whatever. So we got a couple options. We could just give in the towel, just quit trying, or we could help it let us shape us into what we need to be, especially if it's God ordained. It won't kill us to have a little bit more patience, or a lesson on a better attitude. It's not going to kill us. Now, our flesh don't like it, but you know what? God knows what we need, and I trust him to show us what we need at all times if you serve him. So, let's serve God today. And we may not understand everything and even his timing, but just know you can trust that if you are a child of God and you are following him completely and wholeheartedly, God can deliver you. He will deliver you. Just hold on. In Jesus' name.